Hello and welcome to FSL Dota 2 Open. Today is day 2. My name is Holler and I'm with Arthur. How are you doing today and what did we learn from day 1?
Hey man, I'm good. Good morning. Well, yesterday we have got some stumpy games. We got some really close game. We got 60 minutes game as well. So I really expect nothing less than yesterday for today because we are down to only 3 teams, and all these 3 teams have fought their way all the way here to the day 2. And yeah, we remember how strong it was for Brand Esports. I think they had an amazing run yesterday, so I have high hopes for them. As for Pacific Ping and Running Down, unfortunately, we didn't get much of them because we weren't broadcasting their game. So today, I'm not having any expectation for them. I'm just hoping to have good Dotas.
All right, so we started with 13 teams, and actually we're down to the 4 teams left with Run It Down, Pacific Pink, Foxy Gaming, and Bren Esports. Bren Esports are the one just chilling in the grand finals, and they're just going to wait for all of these teams just to tire themselves out before they go into that last grand finals. But if we can see the bracket here, just kind of how things have turned out, Pacific Pink actually beat Run It Down in the upper bracket round 2. They've been knocked down. They had to fight their way through. Pacific Pink got knocked down by Foxy Gaming, and now they're meeting again in the lower bracket semifinals. So this is a pretty hype match. I think the last time that they met, it was like 24-12. Pacific Pink did win that one, but I think that this is going to be a hopefully a better game where Run It Down can kind of learn from the lessons that they made, in terms of the mistakes that they made, and it will definitely be a better game moving in because you know what I mean. Like if you get punched the first time and you can get your payback, this is the one that you really want.
Absolutely, we have talked about this in our previous cast before. A long format like that is all about adjusting, and it's all about learning. If you can adjust and learn from what made you lose last time, that's how you become a better team. That's how you improve. So for Running Down, hopefully they can learn from their previous losses to Pacific Ping, and let's see if they can punch it back.
I think it's a bit of a shock in the sense that Pacific Pink did get knocked out by Foxy Gaming. I know that I had them as the favorites. I penned them in, but I mean, it's a new patch, new Dota, new season, new everything, right? And some people have some of the rosters have retooled. They've kind of rejigged in terms of their the groups that they're playing with now. So everything is getting better. And of course, this is all with FSL. We're great to have these sorts of leagues, but a big shout out to our sponsors as well at Intel, Yahoo, and Tokenized Exchange, because without them, we would not have had this league. And of course, all of these teams are playing for a decent amount of cash in the sense that first place will be 300 SGD, second place 150, third and fourth 50. And seeing as we're in the top 5, all of these teams are guaranteed in the money.
Yeah, I feel like for all these players, it's more than the money still, because I know a lot of them, they've been putting a lot of time into Dota. A lot of them are streamers. Some of them are professional players. So I think this tournament is really a testament for them to tell them whether or not their effort will be worthwhile. So that's why, I've got so much hope for them to perform well, because I know for them themselves, they would definitely want to prove or make their name to be known.
All right, so and speaking of trying to be known and everything, and the draft is underway, and the teams have picked. And if we're looking at this, we haven't seen much of it, but I feel like Puck is very strong, and Pacific Pink has managed to secure that one. What are your thoughts about the draft thus far? I mean, there's been a ton of bans already.
Yeah, we got Puck Grimshaw coming up from Pacific Pink, 2 of the most contested heroes, I would say, in first phase. And they managed to grab them both, a lot of synergies from them. As for Running Down, they start with the casual Lion and Rubik 2 backline supports with a ton of disables and damage as well. So honestly, if you ask me, I'll like Pacific Pink's opening a little bit more. I think there's a more flexibility. Puck can be anywhere, Grimshaw can be anywhere as well. So it's tough for Running Down to tell what Pacific Pink would want to do. And also because Running Down is at the they have the second pick, so they'll have to show a core here that will 100% get countered by Pacific Pink.
Yeah, and that's actually the best part about drafting. I think that you need to kind of have that pick initial, at least in the first phase, where you don't really know where that hero is going to be, right? I think that adds like a ton of flexibility, a bunch of strategy, and now Run It Down are kind of, we know that Rubik will probably be a 4. Like, yes, there might be like the Dendy style mid, but I'm pretty sure we don't really see too much of that. But I think that it's going to be more of you're locked in. We know what you do. Now we can ban accordingly.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we sometimes when a team they have the second pick sequence, they don't really want to show 2 supports like that. They want to have at least 1 flexible pick So they kind of throw the enemy off a little bit, don't make everything makes so obvious. And DK is one of the flexible pick they can do. It's also a very good pick against the puck as well.
I like that pick, and I think it's very, very flexible. Well, I mean, it's flexible in the sense that you can maybe do an offlaner, but it's probably going to be your mid in that sense. But they're kind of preparing themselves, countering nicely. But this is a run it down team. They've got 3 Malaysians, they've got a Thai player as well as a Filipino player as well. So a little bit of a mix. But then Pacific Pink is the tried and true, like we're sticking together in the sense of the Filipino team that they've been together for such a long time. So there's a lot of synergy between the two teams and very differently from the picks in it of itself.
Yeah, for sure. Like writing down I know most of them are streamers. So however, they have been putting a lot of times into Dota though. Like they have been playing at a very high standard, Divine, Immortals. And as for Pacific Pink, like you say, they are the traditional powerhouse. But you know, if yesterday's game, if anything, Foxy Gaming proved that they can bleed as well. So for running down, I think they should not be afraid at all. Pacific, and like you say, this is a new patch, new Dota, everything could happen.
Yeah, and if we're looking at this, I mean, one thing to note is that Run It Down had played a lot more games. They played 5 games versus the 3 of Pacific Pink. It just happened to be with the bracket and Pacific Pink having a bye, seeing as that they were previous champions. But they've only played 14 heroes in those 3 games, whereas Run It Down played 23 different heroes. So there's a huge pool. I mean, they're very flexible players in and of itself. So I think that they're kind of okay with whatever Pacific Pink will throw at them.
Yeah, that's true. Having a flexible hero pool is always good for the drafter, especially to pick hero around with. And Pacific Pink, though, they are using a lot of their reserve time for this third pick.
Yeah, they're taking a bunch of time here, but I think that Dragon Knight kind of threw them off. But it looks like they're going to go with a Snap. Probably a Snap 5 Grim 4.
Yeah, seems like it so far. I mean, yesterday, Thompson played a Snapfire mid as well against OG. So that's always the flexibility coming out from this hero. Basically, 2, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can be on any role. But I'm not sure about this Snapfire pick because you're playing into the Dragon Knight, which is a hero that can buy early BKB against Mortimer cases. Rubik as well. He loves having a hero that just sits still and channel a spell. That's like easiest spell for Rubik still. So I think Rubik could have a very good game to perform, knowing how many good spells he can steal from Pacific Pink's 3 heroes.
Yeah, and maybe they're looking at Shredder. I mean, I don't even know. Would they actually put this as a core, like just to kind of deal with the Dragon Knight? Because I mean, they spent so much time thinking about it, and then not to counter that hero would seem odd to just pick the Snapfire here, right?
Yeah, that's true. Now Pacific Pink, they have the one pick for either their off lane or their carry. Knowing that enemy has picked their carry on the PA, they might want to quickly snatch a carry themselves before they get into the banning phase. Because Running Down could just easily ban out 2 carries themselves. They'll go for the Axe, one of the most popular hero on the off lane role, simply because of how much Vanguard is buff, and also the shard for Axe is completely busted, where you can just go for Blink Vanguard. Manta style into shard, you could easily just solo queue any cores or support that are a little bit squishy. And mind you, there's no save at all coming out from Running Down side.
Yeah, and I mean, it's probably also with, I mean, Axe is in a great spot right now, but also Axe is just a pretty decent laner against PA. So there's just like a lot of win-win in that sense. And they were just waiting for the mid or the core, or the mid or the carry, excuse me, being shown here just so they can get that last pick. But if we're going to go, you know, in the last phase of this pick phase, obviously things have reversed, but Pacific Pink will pick first and then the last pick. But what kind of rounds out the Pacific Pink at this point?
I'll say winning condition. They are leaning a winning condition that can outcarry the PA. There's a lot of magical bursts and disables coming out from Pacific Pink side, but they need someone that can come in with some DPS damage. So something like Reinda has already banned out some of the heroes that are really good against themselves, and also with the Sapphire, which is Faceless Void, that's easy setup for a Sapphire. It's also a hero that can rush for the early Monkey King Bard to deal with the PA. I'll say other heroes would be something like a Slug would be pretty decent here for Pacific Pink against DK and PA. It's a natural Silver Age builder, doesn't really buy Monkey King Bard, but it's all good. There's a lot of stats for him to steal from these tanky heroes. So I think there's a lot of choices that Pacific Pink can go for here.
What do you think about just like I mean, we just saw the power of it, at least with Brent Esports, Jill. But Medusa? Would Medusa kind of work here for Pacific Pink?
Oh, yeah, Medusa could work. The heroes from Running Down side, they actually don't do anything to Medusa.
Yeah.
I would like to see Medusa as well. Most importantly, Pacific Pink, they are on the dire side. And we know how strong dire side is for Medusa. She's literally
10
born
seconds
for this
remaining.
meta at the dire side.
Okay. Okay. Wow. I mean, you're saying she's
5
born
seconds
for a
remaining.
meta in the dire side. I mean, it's like Dota anime season 2, right? At this point. Oh, but
A little
okay,
bit.
they've decided to go with a Spectre here. All right, it's got the fightiness, it's got everything you kind of want. Late game carry, of course, it can definitely outclass a PA at some point. But what do you counter? Okay, well, we'll just find out here. But Night Stalker.
Select your hero.
This is a really good pick. Okay, there's some 50-50 thing about this because every single time Spectre throws a dagger to the Night Stalker, it gives the entire team the vision of the Night Stalker. So that's one thing Spectre is really good against Night Stalker. But however, I can see how Night Stalker as a hero just go completely pop off this game because he's so good against Park, Grimstroke, Snapfire. All these backline heroes, they'll just want to stay at the absolute back to throw their spells. They all get countered by Night Stalker, and this also force Puck to absolutely go for the U scepter. So she couldn't go for the very explosive build like the power thrust into Witchblade into any more offensive item. She has to get at least one defensive item against Night Stalker.
Okay, yeah, and as a Puck player or Grimstroke and Night Stalker's running at you, it just kind of lights out pretty much. So understand the concern there, and do need to play even more, like definitely safer in the sense that they're all the way in the back line, probably hidden somewhere, out of line of sight, just to keep themselves alive here. So I think it's going to have to come up to NM as Axe to make sure that, she's protecting everyone else and protecting the back line, which is going to be ever important in this game.
Yeah, Force Staff has to be the item that they go for. And another thing is, however, the Pacific Pink, their counter initiation is so strong with the Puck. If Rhaenyra would run into them with no vision, they could get called, they could get coiled into the horn, and that would be the perfect scenario that Pacific Pink would want to see. So Rhaenyra, they have to be very patient with their initiation. They have to make sure that they see Pacific Pink's location before they take a jump, because I've seen so many times where a team smoke into Spectre with no vision and just get absolutely crushed because of how strong Horn is in terms of giving vision to the team.
And that's going to be kind of hard to do. I mean, you've got a Night Stalker, you have that superior vision. Definitely something that you need to. It's like one of those underrated things, and at least at nighttime, just the fact that like he has. Way better vision, kind of figure things out. So, wards are going to be ever important. Understanding just kind of how map control plays into all of this, and winning out the vision game, and that will put them in a position to win.
Absolutely. For Rhaenyra, I would say they are not really on the clock. However, their two supports are very exposed to the Spectre when the Spectre eventually has Manta, Skadi, or something like a Diffusal. I think that's where Rhaenyra support would struggle a lot. But I'll definitely see a way that PA could outcarry the Spectre, because right now PA has the ability to get a shard that just get a break on the Spectre. I think that's gonna be the winning condition that Rhaenyra will be waiting for.
Okay. Well, the teams have loaded in. I think everything's in order now, and they're going to just kind of play this one off. But, sticking together, I think that we've seen a lot of just people just get cut off in the sense of just giving up first blood and everything. And things are not what they used to be in the sense of just kind of having different skirmishes across the map. And it's all about just sticking together, at least, when the horn sounds.
Yeah, especially right now, they will want to be sticking around the Night Stalker, since the change now before the horn is nighttime. That's really beneficial for Night Stalker to be snatching runes or going for pre-zero minutes first blood attempt. But it seems like both teams are playing relatively safer. Now, mind you, this is a best of one, so whoever that lost this game will go home. So
yeah, it's actually a pretty big one if you think about it. Like, both of these teams have already lost one. This is a double elimination tournament, so this is pretty much it in terms of your tournament life. But one thing to note, and I've just noticed this, is that look at this ward that's being placed on the Radiant side. You see that?
Yep.
It's line is walking to it. Like, isn't that okay? What are your thoughts on that one?
Normally these kind of wards is to prevent the position 4 that can roam around, like the Mirana or Spirit. I'm not sure what's the intention here. Maybe they are trying to avoid first bird attempt coming out from Pacific Pink.
I mean, it protects like. Oh yeah, go on.
Otherwise, I don't really see a really big purpose of the ward here, because no one is going to be going there to make a rotation to the DK. Grimshock is not going to do that.
I was thinking maybe to protect the couriers, because you know you might have like a rotation trying to sneak through, but I think it's not the greatest ward, especially starting out.
Yeah, I guess so. It serves its purpose before the 0 minute so that they can prevent getting first blood. But right now, bottom side Timoon.
Oh, the stroke! He has to fairy fire. Timoon running away, and the courier just tried to distract, but NM will draw first blood, and they go back, and they're gonna look to go for the courier, who does end up getting away though.
I love this so much. Like the Grimstroke going for level 1 Stroke of Faith is just actually the most underrated first spell for Grimstroke, because most of the time when a Grimstroke is pairing with a melee core, they will go for the Inkswell level 1, but it really doesn't do too much of damage at level 1. So with the Stroke of Faith, they can be constantly throwing spells from far to harass either the PA or the Lion, and they can also secure range creep for the Axe as well. So really well played coming out from KJ.
Great start, and that's not what you want is our idea here. But okay, top lane, Spectre, Snapfire versus this Night Stalker Rubik. Who are you giving the edge to?
Well, I would say Spectre should be pretty okay until level 5, until the night time comes, which is 5 minutes. So Snapfire should be the one tanking a lot of spells for the Spectre here.
Ooh, Snapfire Cookie just to keep herself alive. Naomi's so low, and I mean, it's so weird because like I don't feel like Night Stalker is that strong, but Spectre is definitely not strong in this phase already. So this is you really need Naomi to kind of just give them a little bit of an edge in that top lane.
Yeah, all they want to do is to stabilize the lane, keep Spectre as healthy as possible, so that when the night time comes, it's not easy for the Night Stalker to just straight up jump on the Spectre. So Naomi, she's buying a lot of stats and Blightstone for the casual harassment though. That might actually hurt this lane a little bit, because that means that the tangles are going to be late, the salves are going to be late, and as you can see, Naomi, he's already very unhealthy on this lane.
Yeah, struggling here, was trying to do a pull here, and Nut is back, just kind of harassing here. Snapfire Cookie just for the creep, but they're just looking to last hit it, and okay, I believe Nut is back, got most of those last hits.
Mid lane is one of the most stabilized lane for both sides right now. DK versus Pop, nothing much is gonna happen. I don't think any one of them would die unless a huge misplay from each other.
Timon! Oh, the blink strike forward, trying to go for KJ, and yeah, we'll die there. That's a second death for Timon, and KJ will just barely get away. And Empiricist Starks here, not able to get the kill.
This Axe plus Ritual lane is already paying dividend for them. So strong, so much cheap damage, especially with the 2 points on Better Hunger, and also the 2 points of Stroke of Faith. There's so much damage to be thrown from a long range. So even though Lion plays from behind, she's still very exposed to the aggressiveness of the Pacific Ping's duel.
Right, and that's very worrying for Empiricist because of the fact that like the Axe is what, 2 kills already, has a ring of health, and like how do you even deal with her? I mean, they're gonna try here, but I mean, she's gonna shrug off most of this damage.
I guess at this point they are more like hoping that the Axe won't just go on them. I don't think there's a way that can deal with this Axe, especially when the Vanguard is up. PA is a hero that needs a lot of items to make damage. Same as the Lion as well. She will need a lot of levels. Before that, she really doesn't do much damage. I think the playmaker here is really on the DK. So when DK pops level 6, she will have to constantly be forcing the ultimate on the tower to force rotation to come to the mid lane to defend the tower. I think that's the way they can try to find some breathing room for the side lanes.
All right, don't get me wrong. In the bottom lane, yes, Timon has died twice already, but if we're thinking about it like last hits, you know, Empiricist still does have 27 last hits. That's more than the Spectre, so she's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, that's not bad. Because X is constantly pushing the wave, and now X is already starting to cut. Oh no!
Oh, they've got the glyph because they're gonna die for this. They're trying to go in, and the blink is on point, and the creeps, and they got the nice little taunt right under tower, and it looks like Empiricist will die. Nice play by Pacific Pink.
Such a good usage of the glyph from X, and also very good understanding on how much they can go on this lane. They wanted to make an aggressive move because of the siege creep.
Oh, Sherry actually orbs forward, uses the Dream Coil because they were gone on here. Naomi actually makes the TP. They've got the Silence, and they've got the Lion, and the Snapfire Cookie connects on the 2. That's going to be 1 kill going the way of Sherry so far. Aurora does get the Dragon Tail, does want to get the Snapfire before she dies. Yes, she does. And Aurora will secure that kill.
Yeah, even though they trade the Pulse 5, but I would say this is more beneficial for Pacific Pink than running it down because they managed to defend the siege wave, and Dragon Knight does not get to pressure the tower as much as she will want to. Top lane.
Hickory's on the run. It's nighttime. It's Batman time, and Sophie the dog is on top of you. The lift up. Kekory's running around, asking the creeps for some help. Tries to dagger, at least to hack up, but the creeps actually body block her, and she does get away, and Kekory will run away and laugh in glee as she runs back and hopefully will heal up into the fountain.
Wow, Kekory, what a close call there. Sophie the dog going for more KJ. She's gonna protect herself with the Inkswell, and that will be it.
Yeah, no boots or anything, and Sophie the dog, being nighttime, is very fast at this point. And Sophie the dog only level 4 Snapfire Cookie, and it looks like the supports are here. The Shredder doing some work. KJ taking some damage. The stick is going to be used by Sophie. NM is actually TP'd here. They do need to be a little bit careful with how they proceed. Even the Centaur is getting in on the action. And with the Battle Hunger, Nut is back, is going to go, and it looks like NM is going to die for this. Tower don't care. I'm going to keep running. And NM will eventually stop. Oh, she does get the kill.
2 points on Battle Hunger that just proved to be way too strong here.
Look, NM actually has Vanguard already.
But it's already all the way at the top lane though, so that's my worry. Because she could have just flashed from the entire bottom jungle with this Vanguard, constantly pushing wave out. But because of the aggression that Ryan put on the Spectre earlier, they forced the X to be on top lane. So now bottom side is completely open for the PA.
I mean, but it doesn't have a tower, and I feel like Pacific Pink probably should punish that, create some sort of pressure. As I say that, Spectre, it looks like she's making her way into the bottom lane, or, you know, once she kills that creep camp. But look at this stack, and it will happily take this one. And she's very strong, but there are 3 heroes from Run It Down. She does need to be a little bit careful. Sophie the dog, of course, still nighttime. He's looking to go, oh, the taunts, but it's going to barely miss. Sherry's now going to join the fight.
Oh, Sherry TP top, but she did not get anything in return. So that's a pretty big waste of the TP there. Very good disengagement coming up from right now. Now they're trying to make a move at the bottom side, but Pia has already gotten enough of space for herself, and she will be getting back into the jungle.
Yeah, Sophie the dog, you know, it was 37 last hits now, 10 denies. I mean, pretty much neck and neck with the Spectre there in terms of how they were doing. So all of the other lanes seem to have done better. As I say, that NM is going to taunt here. Gets Sophie the dog about half-life, but she's going to back off now.
Yeah, the dual support of Ryan Dart making a move at the mid lane.
Oh, they're figuring it out. They know. Earth Spike. They got the Fade Bolt as well. They've got the Hex, Aurora, Dragon Tail. They're stacking the stuns properly, and KJ goes down.
That's the strength of these two supports. There's just so many disables coming up from Lion and Rubik, and once the level 6 is up on Lion, they will be able to do a lot of burst damage. And now with this kill, they kill the tower defender, the Grimstroke, and they will just get the tower freely from them. So this opens up a lot for them to make any aggression on the Spectre, especially with the Night Stalker. This is the way to unlock their mid-game aggression.
And the crazy thing about Pacific Pink is that they actually are not invading the jungle. They've taken the bottom T1 tower, but they're not utilizing the farm or from that jungle. And so, you know, RID has expected them to be there. And so look at how the PA right now is just playing very, very carefully in her own triangle. It looks like they're going to go on the top lane here. They've gone for Axe, but that's probably not the target you want to go. The Inkswell, the lift up, and they're like, okay, we can't deal with this, and we're going to look to run now. Sherry orbs forward, tries to go. It gets the Dream Coil, at least on Rubik. She's been leashed. She's been stuck. taunt in. NM's got him where she wants him, but the Earth Spike, Orb, and then will kill Nut is back.
Mid lane, PA, DK, they're going on the Snapfire. Can they get the stun? She's joking. Grandma is joking.
Yeah, the Dragon Tail. Once you got that lock in, Empiricist will take that kill.
Yeah. I was going to say Grandma has some move, but then she's a little bit too slow there, and DK just casually walk up and stun her. DK is going for Blink Dagger first item. I like this a lot because DK is the only one that can make plays on the map for running down in the daytime. So having a dagger is definitely super good for them, especially in catching the puck.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty much the only chance. I mean, your Night Stalker will eventually, I mean, it's got phase right now, still a long ways away, but she's gonna go Blink first as well, actually. Sophie the dog. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, they're just having a lot of emphasis on getting the puck because they know how important puck is for the entire team of Pacific Pink. If they could get the puck down, that girl's the biggest AoE control for Pacific Pink.
11 minutes. Dragon Knight, the mid, actually got Blink, but so did NM, who has Vanguard, Brown Boots, and Blink now. NM is kind of rolling.
Yeah, she's rolling, but she has also given a lot of space for the PA to farm. Though, look at PA. She has been like at bottom farming for the past 3 to 4 minutes, and that's when the tower has dropped so early. Like PA should not be getting so much farm.
Oh, the Spink. That's the Blink reveal. The Dragon Tail, the stacks, the stuns are stacked, and Sherry didn't even see that one coming.
Also, the stolen Stroke of Faith coming out from Rubik as well. That's level 3 Stroke of Faith. A lot of magical bursts, and she will be able to push out the lanes a lot easier to defend this mid tower. So, Rubik, she's gonna have a lot of room to shine this game because all the spells are so good to steal coming in from Pacific Pink.
And Spectre is 5th in terms of the net worth. NM, of course, we talked about just how much farm she does have, but I mean, the Spectre is 5th behind the PA. Is that a little worrying for you at this stage?
Well, I would say this is a cloud. Oh, the jump in on Dragon Knight.
The taunt. Okay, Mortimer Kisses as well. And it looks like they will kill Aurora. Culling Blade will make short work. Sherry will secure the kill onto Timoon.
Yeah, that's why it's just very hard to push into Pacific Pink because their counter initiation, or you should say the tower defense, are just so strong. They have so many ways to set up their tower defense. You can start with the X Coil, you can start with the Coil into the Mortimer Kisses plus the Spectre ulti. So that's like the ultimate fight they want to take. Just wait for Ryan Down to run into them, push towers, and then that's the free setup for themselves. So for Ryan Down, they might want to gain some map control first before they push, or just simply try to take someone down first before they start sieging some towers.
Yeah, and speaking of sieging towers, actually the top T1, they actually did not get the last hit on that one. So that's a little bit of a misplay. KJ now running for her life. They Orb, they've got the silence, and they're gonna look to turn this one. They try to focus their attention on Cherry, but the nice Dream Coil on the back end. NM is here, and the nice Blink call. And it looks like they've secured them both in. Culling Blade or not, it doesn't really matter. They've got 2 for nothing. NM coming out of the left field for that one. But Nut is back, is now running. I don't know if they actually have anything to deal with her, but Sherry just orbs forward and Nut is back will run away.
Something worth saying as well, but let's see if Aurora is in trouble here. She does not have Blink Dagger. She'll be hiding in the trees, but she's getting pinked out, don't Naomi. She knows about it. That's the woman's sixth sense, bro.
Oh no, Aurora just has the Dragon Tail. Now it's been silenced. That Phantom is on. The little Shredder doing some work. She's been silenced and now stunned. The Cookie as well, and they're just stacking them up. And she goes down as well. And this is not good for RID.
Not at all. Their game is getting out of control right now. Because of the one loss, the one tower push, they tried at the bottom side and get double killed there. That kind of just stopped the DK's timing, and now DK died another time. After getting the 11-minute dagger, they are not in the driver's seat at all.
Yeah, and this is kind of why I'm not a huge fan of Blink early. I think that if you kind of coordinated with your team, because the Night Stalker is still going to get Blink. And oh, speaking of which, they'll look to try to fight NM. NM is like, I'm just going to take this Ancient. They have literally 5 heroes against NM. They go for the finger as well. They still, okay, finally killed her. Kill streak going the way of Aurora. That's one way of getting back in the game.
Yeah, thankfully Aurora gets the kill. That's 530 gold for herself. So that kind of salvage her non-skill ability. Because with this very early Blink dagger, like you say, she's not skilling at all, and if she doesn't get fight successfully going, she's gonna feel so bad running around the Blink Dagger and not farming at all.
And going back to my other point, Dragon Knight, sorry, got the blink. Night Stalker is looking to get Sophie the dog, that is looking to get another blink. I just feel like, I mean, this is 2,250 gold, and you're not getting any stats, you're not getting any auras, you know what I mean, any other abilities other than the fact that you're blinking forward. So that, to me, is a pretty huge investment just for the initiation, and that's very worrying to me.
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at Axe, she's so tanky with the Blade Mirror Vanguard. Not only that she can initiate, she can also tank up a lot of damage coming up from Rodney down. But could DK do that? Maybe, yeah. Could Night Stalker do that? Maybe not. So if they jump in and don't get any instant kill from the initiation, that they could be in a lot of trouble because the multiple cases are gonna come in. The Soul Bind, Horn, counter initiations are all gonna come in, and that's where they're gonna struggle the most.
And if you've got a Night Stalker on your team, generally speaking, every single night phase, you're looking to make some sort of action happen, right? You're looking for a kill, you're looking for some sort of way to do it. And if you're looking at it, nighttime, Pacific Pink, they're like, hey, we're not afraid of the night. We're not afraid of Sophie the dog. We can continue to just push, and they're gonna exude their dominance here as they take the top T1 with almost no contest whatsoever.
Yeah, I like how they're just putting NM in front of the tower. So if you look at Radiant's perspective, their vision, they're literally only seeing the Axe in front of their tier 1, and they don't see anyone else. So that does not give any information for running down. They want to run at their enemy for sure, but they do not have any vision for that. And all they see is the Axe. Do they want to run into the Axe? No, they don't want to. So it's just very well played coming up from Pacific Pink on how they use their heroes, on how to be hidden in the map.
And run it down, are looking to do a smoke here. And to be honest, I actually thought that they should have avoided all fights, just kind of create space elsewhere by pushing bottom and all that. But it looks like they want to have some sort of action happen, realizing that's, you know, hey, they're behind.
They're looking at Spectre here. This is the best attempt they can go for.
Oh, they got the blink in. Here we go. They're going to look to go right on him. They're stacking the stuns and the finger as well, and they do find Kikari, but NM is TP'd in, Sherry as well, and they're instantly TPing out, realizing they got what they wanted, and that's all.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Oh, they want to go for more Sophie the dog. She's going to get out.
Oh, barely gets away, Naomi. So close. But they found Nutter's back, if anything, and they're going to use the taunt, at least, for Rubik here. Nutter's back does go down, or forward, but that's going to be it.
That's a Dream Coin committed on the Rubik as well. That's not too bad. I'll take the trade any day, anytime. Spectre for a Koi and a Rubik, that's completely worth it. And we have talked about this before. The Blink Dagger on Night Stalker, it counters the puck a lot. It kind of forced the puck to buy at least some sort of defensive item, and Puck is not going for that at all. Witchblade plus boost of travel. So she's very punishable. If right now can find the angle to jump on the Puck, she's just dead. But the point is, can they though? Can they find the angle though?
I think she's really relying on her team, right? NM to just blink taunt, you know, just get on top of her, and plus the fact that you have the Snapfire cookie. I mean, it's a poor man's Force Staff, but it is some sort of mobility that they can kind of work with. So she's going to use her teammate and just trust, right? I think in terms of like pubs, you would definitely go for more like, you know, self-preservation items and to just keep yourself alive. But if you're playing in a team like this, it does make sense for your team to kind of, you know, to keep you alive while you just have the damage and then the stats and the mobility, so to speak, just to kind of consistently fight.
Yeah, that's true. If the Axe could actually do his job and just constantly repeating herself in front of the fight, that's definitely a good way for the Puck to play. But that being said though, it means that Puck has no control whatsoever on her own life. She will have to rely on her teammate at a lot, and if Ryan could find the angle on her, there's still no ways for her to get out. There's no force stops just yet from any of the supports from Pacific Ring, so there's no getaway Jill cut there for his team.
Yeah. But they're on the way, in the sense that KJ is building the Force Staff. It's just going to take a little bit more time. I mean, she's got the Aether already, which is actually very important on the Grimstone. So, oh, Haunt is now going to be used. They're looking for something more of a scouting hunt more than anything else.
Yeah. just look at how much damage the horn does. The illusion does to Rubik. It takes away 50% of the Rubik's health, and I think somewhere around 50% of the Lion's health as well. So these two supports, yeah, just sad. Lion though, like one thing that she can do to protect herself is to always mana drain or instantly hacks the illusion, so that she could always protect herself, because that instantly kill the illusion.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to do it. It's just gotta have fast fingers, right?
Just gotta not panic and always know about the winning condition for herself. Axe is running in with the Invis rune, but she's damn far away from her teammate, so
NM don't care. NM
No
just
care.
rushing in.
NM
solo.
strong, NM strong, NM no care. Yeah.
She'll reveal herself here, just take the creeps, and they're gonna just look to focus their attention on the T2 bottom. I love the fact that they're very objective focused.
Yeah, they're constantly doing this. Like the two supports, they're constantly led by this Axe to push towers. So every single time, NM is trying to make an initiation on the Aurora, but Aurora sees that, she quickly blinks away, does not want to involve in any fight until the BKB is up. She's only one recipe away, about 600 gold away from the BKB. That's the biggest timing that Running Down are waiting for right now. Even PA is also rushing for the BKB as well. So nothing like the Deso first after the Fury. They are going for a full defensive build so that they could repel themselves from the super aggressive team fight coming up from Pacific Pink.
Yeah, and there's a decent amount of magic and control that Pacific Pink have, and they're trying to negate as much as possible just to let their PA fight. When you're constantly controlled and hexed, and you're just gonna have a hard time just kind of doing anything. So we're gonna have to see how this one plays out. But I mean, let's talk a little bit about Kikari, right? Spectre here. She's been largely quiet. Had Blame Mail, Yasha, Manta up next. But when will we see her leave the jungle?
Dire's top tower is
I don't think we are ever going to see him leave the jungle unless the team wipe Running Down. Because Spectre is never the hero that wants to be out in front of the team or anywhere on the map aggressively.
Oh, they found him. Not his back goes down. NM just complete control here. Blink call, and we'll take that one as well as the T2 mid.
Taking this T2 mid might mean that Pacific Pink, they could start thinking about Roshan, because they have the Sapphire Medallion plus the max level Little Shredder. That's a lot of armor reduction. And now that Manta Star is completed on Spectre, they could do Roshan so quickly.
Yeah.
Unless Running Down wants to pop the next Loka ulti to contest this, otherwise they will not have any vision for this Roshan contest. It seems like that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, but you don't have Dragon Form. You don't have, you don't have your like all of your ults up. I think it's a little worrying, especially going into this, where NM is still very, very strong, and there will be a point where Axe does fall off, but we're still about 10-15 minutes away from that moment.
Yeah, the thing about Axe is that I don't think these heroes fall off so early because of the new shard and all the amazing talents that he has right now. Level 20, you have the Culling Blade Threshold that would be pretty awesome to instantly burst down the supports. And then when she eventually wants to go for the Manta plus the shard, that's another way to solo kill the supports as well. So I think throughout the entire game, unless the two supports go for defensive items like Eon Disc or U Scepter, otherwise I think Axe would always have a pretty effective time in the map.
I mean, I'm just worried right now because NM is still tops. I don't want to see this. I mean, Axe is very strong, but I just don't want to see in my pubs where just Axe just controls the games and everything, right? Like, this is a pretty great showing by NM here.
Yeah, fantastic showing so far. I love her itemization too, going for the boost of travel. That's one of the way that you can keep yourself relevant on the map as long as possible, because of the ability for her to be able to just always be helping out the team, always be farming, always be scaling, and it helps her achieve the great balance of fighting and farming.
But like, what is Run It Down supposed to do then? Like, completely avoid NM and just like split push, cut creeps? Like, what do you recommend at this point?
I'll say just keep stalling the game, because their winning condition on the PA is not anywhere weaker than the PA. With the shard completed on PA, they can easily melt the Spectre if they have the disables and chain stun. So what they need now is just more time and more items for the PA. PA can definitely. definitely solo carry this game, but she'll need like a super quiet game from now on. Hopefully nothing happens.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Another?
Oh,
Okay, that's
okay,
a Haunt
fine.
on Aurora.
Yeah, she was just trying to split push there, but I mean, okay, you're saying that they need time. Oh, the stolen haunt. That's very cheeky. They're just finding the illusion. Sophie Dog is gonna look to go. They've got the silence on Kikari. Kikari's gonna dagger away, but Sophie the Dog has got flight and trying to run at her. But they're gonna just stop that now. But again, you're saying that RID need time. But at the same time, you're giving time to Spectre Kikari to farm. And I feel like Spectre versus PA late game, I think I'm going to give the edge to Spectre, no?
Yeah, I think it really goes both ways though, because the shard on the P is really, really strong, and the ability to break Spectre to get rid of the Desolate and Dispersion, that's like removing all the net worth of the Spectre. He's just a tanky hero, and she's not tanky anymore without the Dispersion, so...
Oh, but the nice blink call and Empiricist just goes down so quickly, and all they wanted was the tower, and NM was like, I don't even care about protecting it, I just want Empiricist, who's trying to juke her, but the culling blade, she actually walked back, and that seemed a bit of a misplay. But Kikari very deep here, but she does have Aegis. Sophie the Dog is getting rained on. Those Mortimer kisses, mwah, goes down there. The steal,
Buyback?
and it looks like there's a buyback coming in. Aurora's here, and they've got at least Snapfire and Sherry both go down. It's a double kill going the way of Empiricist, and they want Kikari. She doesn't have an Aegis anymore. They have a dagger being thrown. The Spectral Dagger letting her go through the trees. She has to cut the trees, and this is the great escape, and Kikari just runs away.
Oh, they're not chasing for Kikari. They could have gotten the kill. There's a blink on Aurora, but as you can see, Timoon is spamming. The axe is missing. Axe is missing. They don't want to give Axe any sad moment, and they'll just get back there. And that 2 kills, that is just 2 kills for the buyback of PA though. Not as worthwhile as you want it to be, because they are not killing any cores at all. That is just 2 support kills, so a little bit sad there from the PA.
I mean, isn't that crazy that NM was just like farming in the jungle, not even trying to help her teammate, and everybody's like, "Oh no, NM's in the woods. She's gonna pop us out." It's like the boogeyman, right? Like we're scared, like she could come out at any moment.
Yeah, that's the power of the axe. That's really the power of the axe. The amazing initiator, even better on the counter initiation part. And she's indeed going for the meta style build. She's queuing up the Yasha already. I would love to see that, because of all the games that I've casted so far, I have not seen this at all in officials. So that's gonna be very hyped to see, because me myself, I got a treatment before when I was playing Oracle. I was like playing this amazing Oracle game like in 20 minutes 0 death, and then Axe finally realized that I'm a problem. Just jumps on me every single fight with the manta style, and I just died without the ability to click any buttons. So that's how strong the Axe with the manta style and shard is.
It's so good. It's so good. Oh, but the blink forward, they found Empiricist, the haunt in, and she goes down. And NM just, like it's so difficult to deal with NM.
The Blade Meal too. That's a dieback on PS side, so that's really tough for her right now. We talk about how they need to stabilize the game. It's
the lift up. Sophie the Dog is here. They do have the silence, but they actually don't. I mean, the Dragon Tail will connect eventually. Oh, no. Force Staff away. Sherry is looking to get away. The stolen Mortimer Kisses look like they're just vomit balls at this point, but they do end up killing Timon, and they're going to look to fight this, but Aurora is there, and this is all without the PA. This seems like a very bad decision. Oh no, and Sophie the Dog's running for her life. She's got spider legs. She's just trying to fly away, but the Phantom's on top, and she does go down as well, and that's 3 for nothing, because PA was already dead.
I'm so surprised they actually decided to make a move on the puck, knowing that PA is dead for about 50 seconds when they make the move, and they did not realize that there's a Lincoln Sphere on the puck. So they kind of just screw up the first initiation, and then they went into it with Sophie the Dog popping the Creeping Fear. But they got 3-man caught by NM once again, just being the perfect counter initiator.
I'm feeling like that was a very tilt move, right? Like, oh crap, we just lost everything. We got to go all in on this play when you're shorthanded, which is actually a terrible decision considering the fact you didn't have Empiricist, who's going to do all of the damage that you need. So just a really bad engagement and just very greedy. Okay, they've got the Dragon Tail. They've got these Kikari where they want her. They've got the Manta, the Phantom Embrace, the Soulbind as well. NM is now here, and there's going to be a nice little call, but Kekari does go down. But NM is all here. He's got a nice 3-man call. He's looking to just focus on, but NM will eventually go down, I think. Empiricist is on the chase, and they do have the Fable. They have the lift off in the Earth Spike, and that's another streak going the way of Sophie the Dog. And that was a bit of a misplay by Pacific Pink.
Yeah, this time around, they overstayed their welcome. They thought they are strong enough. And Spectre is the kind of hero that if she does not leave the area of fighting first, she's so slow. So she will need some force stuff to get out of the scene. Unfortunately, the reach of RID are just way too strong there with the blink hacks on the Lion and the leaf with the 80 lands from Rubik as well. There's just so many ways to keep the Spectre in the same place.
And I don't know. I don't know what she was thinking, just sticking around for as long as she did. But I felt like she needed to disengage there. NM obviously tried to go for the save, but this is like one mistake compounding into many other mistakes. And so, I mean, ooh.
Timon, they popped smoke. They tried to scan for some kind of vision before the smoking with the gem on Lion, but they did not catch the one observable ward around the high ground. So that smoke was completely scouted by Pacific Pink. And as you can see, Park is already on the move to the bomb. Oh, wait.
Oh, but Kikari actually goes to the TP. Manta's away. I apparently didn't see that.
What?
Not everybody's paying attention to the mini-map like you are. Because, yeah, I think that they should have spotted that one out, and Kikari just goes down again. It's like, hey, let's 3-2-2 it, huh?
All right, this is where running down, they have to just pray to God that Roshan is up. Unfortunately, Roshan will be up in 2 minutes. So that's a little bit unfortunate for them. If they were to get the Roshan, that's the comeback mechanism for them.
They've got the comeback, but it looks like they're going to focus on at least the T3 top. But seeing as NM is within the vicinity of the creeps, I think that you kind of need to just back up. Oh, they go actually in. They got the Dream Coil, and Sherry's just looking to split push here, but Aurora is looking to just fight. Orb forward. Aurora's, the Dream Coil is over, and I think Sherry will be able to TP away.
Oh, NM, they're chasing. They know that DK has already TP bottom. Timon Sama will be able to get out. Alright, I like the jam pickup coming out from Timon, so that this is one of the ways that can help them reclaim some map control they have lost. And also Night Stalker is one of the heroes that can really best hold the jam. With the night vision plus the jam, that will give them a lot of map control back, and hopefully that's going to be helpful enough for them to contest the second Roshan, because second Roshan will be respawned in 45 seconds, and that's the biggest timing for both sides right here.
All right, so we're going to see how that one plays out. But again, you know, whatchamacallit, Kikari has died a couple times very quickly. She went from 1-1-8 to 1-3-8. Things have kind of turned. She does need to be a little bit careful. I think that she, you know, I mean, at some point you need buyback, right?
Yeah, definitely. The ability to just buy back and horn back into the fight, that would be so good, but...
Oh, Timon just trying to scout here, and they're going to use Haunt just for Timon. That seems like a overcommitment for something that NM already had locked down.
They lost the gem as well because of this. She was dewarding. She was trying to deward, but she had no any kind of support from the chorus there. That's why I thought she would just pass the gem to Sophie the Dog, because Night Stalker is a much better gem holder compared to the Lion. And now because the Lion is dead, they lost the gem, means that they don't have any vision for this Roshan contest. I was wondering why X did not purchase the shard until now. Apparently, they were just waiting for the second Roshan. They were just so confident that they could get the second Roshan and get the shard from that.
Yeah, I think that's it's a smart next level play in the sense of just like, oh, we're confident in this. But I mean, I don't know. I'm still flabbergasted by the, you know, Timon there just kind of throwing that gem away, because I think that was key. That was really one way of just controlling the map. But now they're going to be pushed back. No space, no vision, nowhere to run.
Yeah, this is the snowboarding effect. It's the butterfly effect as well. You lost the gem, lost map control, lost Roshan. Now all of a sudden Pacific Pink. After 1 minute later, what do you know? They are suddenly on your high ground. And what can they do? Could they kill the Spectre 2 times in a row before they get all killed by the axe? That's gonna be hard.
Oh, the blink forward, the BKB is now gonna be used. Nice 2-man Earth Spike though. They got something, and they're looking to fight this one, but I don't know if this is the play, and it looks like they're running away now. and they're trying to go in. The nice taunt on Sophie the dog. The Mortimer kiss is just raining terror on them. The Yules on NM just to control her, keep her out of the fight, but they focus on the objective and they play very, very smart. They got what they wanted, at least so far. T3, they do a life check and they're kind of just backing in and out. And it looks like there's going to be a little bit of a retreat here. Kakariko still does have cheese, if anything. Or sorry, that's Axe, excuse me. But now the Dream Coil is going to be committed. A nice call in. They're going to look to just fight this. And Pierce is going down, looking to fight this one. Nice little play there. Nice little ink swell. And they've got at least got the Grimstroke. The Snapfire Cookie, though, they do have Empiricist. She goes down. No buyback now. Sophie the dog is running for her life. She's trying to do what she can, but it's daytime. Bruce Wayne ain't fast in the day. And now it's night, and it just turned, and it looks like it's 3-0. Grimstroke buys back, and things are not looking good for
That might just be GG. There's no buyback from Night Stalker or the PA. It's just so hard to play PA this game because there's first of all, there's an Axe call that goes to BKB. There's the Aghanim's coil from Puck as well to stop her from blinking away. So even though she popped the BKB there to fight, that was like a 4 to 5 man fan of knife coming out from PA, but still she just died to the call just like that. And without buyback, they might just have to play from Mega.
Very rough situation, and to be honest, this is why I thought that Axe pick at the end was just so on point. It was so amazing, right after the PA, excuse me, because it's like the perfect counter. Axe is in such a great spot. Like you're setting up Pacific Pink for success in the sense that NM plays an amazing Axe, and they're in the driver's seats, 25-13. I don't know how they can come back from this.
Well, there's always a chance for the PA to buy Divine, so there's always that possibility they can hope for. If they want to play for Mega though, they'll have to wait for PA right now to go for the last Hurrah defense, because this is go home or move on, so they definitely want to play to the last second.
And they go, and they decide to focus it, but some are on NM, some are on KJ, or excuse me, the Snapfire. They're trying to fight here. They've got the nice little taunt on Aurora. She goes down, and it looks like Lion is as well, and they went in, and Sophie the dog is now trying to run, and Pierce is now here. She has to blink at least to the illusion here, but she's taking so much damage. The BKB keeping her alive, at least for now. She blinks to the fountain, and she's fine, but NM don't care. NM goes right into the fountain, actually taunts in. Sophie the dog pulls her out and gets the Culling Blade. She gets sliced and diced, and now they're focusing on the T4s, and GG has been called. Pacific Pink will win this one, 37 minutes in, 28-13. Pacific Pink will full control of this game.
Well, it was a great game though. It was a great game. There's such a strong performing coming out from NM. NM strong, NM no care, NM executing enemy off lane in front of their fountain. That was some alpha move there. So
what a crazy game there.
Anyone
2-9.
Anyone that is witnessing this game, I think they might have to think about this X ban for NM, because such a good performance from the beginning to the last. Like she was dominating the entire laning phase with the help of Grimstroke, and she was just snowballing. I think she was on top of the net worth of the entire team for the longest time, from beginning to the end. So that was how strong the X was.
Yeah, actually, almost the entire way.
Almost the entire way, eh?
No, literally the entire, except for minute 0, but I don't think you count that. But I mean, she was the entire time. So she's like, I'm the carry. I got this. You get on my back, and I'll carry you guys to the end.
Yeah. Well, that being said, that was a pretty good attempt coming up from Ryan Down, though. As everyone knows, Pacific Pink has been the powerhouse, and I think Ryan Down definitely gave them a bit of challenge there. Even though their draft is not, it's a bit countered by the Spectre, X, and Puck, but still they tried their best to play it out. They were very patient, but because of a few misplay coming out from the team, they did not manage to keep the control of the game and got snowballed by Pacific Pink. That being said, it was still a pretty good attempt that they should not be ashamed of themselves. They should be proud of themselves.
I mean, they made money, right? 50 SGD, they get something for their trouble, so to speak. Unfortunately, they got 4th place. They found Pacific Pink just running in their stride in the sense. And it looks like the next game, though, is going to be a pretty big one in the sense that Pacific Pink now go have a rematch against Foxy Gaming, which had knocked them into the lower bracket. That will be coming up next. We're going to take a quick little break before we do, though, and we'll be right back with a loser bracket finals.